Carly from stampinbythesea.com, and today I want to show you this really fun card using a technique called spotlighting and the All Ye Faithful stamp set. Now this stamp set is awesome because it's kind of sketchy but a perfect card or perfect stamp set for the holiday season. And this is going to be created using some crumb cake cardstock. And so let me show you the pieces that you're going to need, and then we can get to stamping. So this is crumb cake 5.5 by 8.5, and I've just folded it. So this is going to be the base of our card. And then this is a 5.5 piece by 2 3/4. This is also crumb cake. It's basically all crumb cake with a little bit of early espresso added into it. Now this piece here is, ooh, let me just double check, 2 inches by 2 3/4, and then we have a 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch piece of crumb cake. And then we're going to use a scrap piece of 5.5 inches at least by about 1 inch of early espresso, and we're going to make a scallop with that using the Big Shot. So let's go ahead and start stamping. Now we're going to just put our card base to the side, and we are going to be doing a little bit of embossing. I'm going to start with a Versamark pad, and I have white embossing powder that I'm going to be using today. Just get all that set up over here, and I want to start off with the 3 little Kingsmen here. I'm going to just ink that up with Versamark, and I'm going to stamp that all the way to the right of that card. And while that ink is wet, I'm just going to go ahead and pour some white embossing powder on that. And tap off, just make sure it's nice and covered with your embossing powder. So we have that one. Now I'm going to have the other wise men over here with the sheep. I'm going to stamp that all the way over to the left side. And I'm also going to pour some embossing powder over that and just tap off. Now I'm going to set this right up here. I've got one more since I'm already stamping. I've got embossing powder everywhere. And let's stamp the main character here, Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. And I'm just going to stamp that all the way at the bottom. And I'm going to pour some embossing powder over that too. I love what's happening in here. My air conditioner, here it is, what, oh, November something. And air conditioner just came on because, hey, it's still hot outside and embossing powder is flying everywhere. All right, so next what we're gonna do is just go ahead and heat this up. So hang on. Perfect. All right, now this piece here is the one we are going to use for the spotlighting, and the colors I'm going to use is some Tip Top Taupe, and I'm going to also use some mint. I can't pronounce the ending of that, of whatever that is, mint macaron, macaroon, whatever it is. Oh my word. And I'm going to use an aqua painter. Just going to grab a little ink, and I'm not going to, this is nothing fancy here. Not really anyways. I'm just wanting to highlight a little bit with my aqua painter and these colors just to brighten it. And I love how this looks. Now, not that his little Shaw thing here is mint macaron, but you know what? It is brightening it up and really spotlighting this little piece from the others. Now there's a little area over here. It's not much. I'm just going to add a little bit of this Tip Top Taupe to that, just so it kind of brightens it up too. And we'll just add a little bit here. All right, and that's really all that we're going to do right there. Now while we've got the stamping out, we're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting. We're going to use Early Espresso, and I'm using the Oh Come All Ye Faithful. Make sure I got it going the right way, and I'm just going to stamp it about center. Oh my word, beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and create a banner using my horizontal punch. All right, now let's move all these pieces out of the way, and we are going to bring our Big Shot in for a sec. Now I'm going to create a scallop using this little scallop piece from the Cutie Pie Thinlits. This one little guy, he is my new little favorite. I'm just going to line that up, try to get it as perfectly straight as I can, and I'm just going to run this through. Now I'm going to need to run it through again because it doesn't go all the way to the end. So I'm just going to line it up best I can. Put that back on and run it through, and then now we'll have hopefully a connecting piece. Well, it's pretty darn close. All right, let's get this out of the way. The Cutie Pie Thinlit is right now one of my favorite little guys because of the scallop. Now I'm going to trim up the scallop to be a little bit cleaner. I don't like those half pieces. And we're going to put some adhesive on this. I'm just going to put it straight across this edge. And I'm going to bring this piece and just meet it up just like that. Give it a little press. Perfecto. Let's make sure our card is going the correct way. There we go. Now, before I put this down, I want to add a doily. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this doily in half because it is a little bit long. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here and just come up to that edge. And it's really almost center. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive down here and bring it and try to meet those two ends together so they line up. Oh goodness, almost had a catastrophe. And this piece is going to go on just like that. We're going to use some dimensionals. That was pretty darn close for keeping it straight. For eyeballing, whoops. And now we're going to put this center in on our card right there. Now this piece right here, I'm just going to take my nail. I'm going to just roughen up that edge just a wee bit. And then I'm going to take this here and just going to loosen those fibers a little bit and just roll it. I just want it rolled down just a wee bit, nothing crazy. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. And then I'm going to put this on my card right about here. Now it may cover that staff just a little bit because I want the three kings to be seen. There we go. And I probably could bring my doilies over to be a little bit more centered, but it's all good. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is we're going to put on the greeting. Now what I'm going to do is just fold this over. I just like the look of that edge. And I'm going to come, I think I'm going to do this one a little bit more centered. So I'm going to take a little adhesive, there it is, put that right there. I'm going to take a dimensional and I'm going to lay that down right about there. And then I'm going to take another dimensional, just put it right here, and just kind of raise it up just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a bend. Not much, just a little bit. Now to finish this off, I have some linen thread and one of our basic buttons. And I've taken my linen thread and I've doubled it. And now I'm going to come in from the top. Come on, there we go. And then come up in through the bottom. And now I'm going to tie a bow. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, Kimberly, you have enough ribbon there or thread for 3 people. Well, here's the deal. I have some pretty fat fingers and I like to make a nice bow. And if I want to make a nice bow, it's just how Kimberly has to do it. Some of this ribbon or some of this linen thread will be used in another way. Not to worry. So now I'm just going to take that. I'm going to just simmer that bow down just a wee bit. I'm going to bring in a mini glue dot. In fact, I think I'm going to bring in 2 mini glue dots just for safe measure. And I'm going to put that right on the edge there. And voila. And right there is spotlighting. So really fun technique just to spotlight an area. This works awesome with some flowers. If you have a beautiful flower, stamp it, emboss it, and maybe just punch another piece and lay it on top to kind of coordinate with the whole scene and just highlight just that little piece. Spotlighting can be really fun. I hope you enjoyed this card. Again, we use the All Ye Faithful. And make sure to go to my website at stampinbythesea.com for more great inspiration. I'll see you on the next one.